Hello everyone, myself Shinde V.G. working as Assistant Professor at Department of Nanoscience and Nanotechnology, KTGM College, Nashik. Today we are going to discuss T.Y.B.Sc Semester 3rd Paper number 5, that is the course of Energy Conversion Devices and Applications. In this lecture, we have to cover the light generated current and IV characteristics of solar cells or photovoltaic solar cells. In previous lecture, we have to start the first chapter, photovoltaic solar cells. In this video, we have to first one cover the energy of photons. Next point, cover the PN junction under dark and under illumination. Next point, light generated current, and another one point is IV equation of solar cells, and last one point we have to cover in this video, the solar cell IV characteristics. Now first one discuss with energy of photon. A photon is characterized by either a wavelength denoted by lambda or equivalent and energy denoted by E. A photon is characterized by either a wavelength denoted by lambda, means wavelength is denoted by lambda, or equivalently an energy denoted by E. There is an inverse relationship between the energy of photon E and the wavelength of light lambda, given by the equation is E is equal to hc by lambda, where h is Planck constant and c is speed of light. The h Planck constant value is 6.626 into 10 raised to minus 34 joule second, and speed of light c is equal to 2.998 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second, or in approximately consider that 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. By multiplying to get a simple expression, hc is equal to, means Planck constant value 6.626 into 10 raised to minus 34 joule second into 2.998 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. This value calculated that, and the hc value is equal to 1.99 into 10 raised to minus 25 joule meter. This is the multiplying expression for single expression. The above inverse relationship means that the light consisting of high energy photons such as blue light has a short wavelength. Light consisting of low energy photons such as red light has a long wavelength, means energy and wavelength is a inverse proportion relation, inversely proportional. The energy is high, then wavelength is low or short, and the energy is low, then wavelength is high. In here, two colors, the energy of blue light is high, then wavelength is short, and the red light energy is low, then wavelength is high. When dealing with particles such as photons or electrons, a commonly used unit of energy is the electron volt rather than the joule. Means energy is denoted by two units. First one, electron volt, or other than joule. Means the particles we have dealing, means consider a particles, that's one, or such that the condition we have photons or electrons are present, then commonly consider that or use that the energy unit is electron volt, or other conditions the energy unit is considered as joule. An electron hole is the energy required to rise an electron through one hole. Thus, a photon with an energy of 1 electron volt is equal to 1.602 into 10 raised to minus 19 joule. Means 1 electron volt is equal to how many joule? That's one. The 1.602 into 10 raised to minus 19 joule is equal to 1 electron volt. That's one. Therefore, we can rewrite the above constant for Hc is term of electron volt. Means this Hc term. In previous slide, I have calculated that the Hc value in rearrange or rewrite the electron volt. That's one equation is Hc is equal to 1.99 into 10 raised to minus 25 joule meter. This value also calculated that. Okay, into 1 electron volt upon 1.602 into 10 raised to minus 19 joules is equal to 1.24 into 10 raised to minus 6 electron volt meter is the Hc value for electron volt term. Further, we need to above the unit in micrometer by unit for lambda means wavelength in wavelength units by the micrometers. Then we have calculate Hc is equal to 1.24 into 10 raised to minus 6 electron volt meter into 10 raised to 6 micrometer per meter is equal to 1.24 electron volt micrometer. This is the Hc value. By expressing the equation for photon energy in terms of electron volt and micrometer, we arrive at a commonly used expression which relates the energy and wavelength of a photon as shown in following equation. Means the electron volt and micrometer terms by the photon energy we rearrange and commonly use expression that is a wavelength of photons and the energy we have showing this equation. This equation is E is equal to electron volt is equal to 1214 divided by lambda in micrometer. The exact value of 1 into 10 raised to 6 into Hc by Q is 1.2398, but the approximately considered as 1.24 is sufficient for most purposes. Means this value written as 1.24 and the micrometer values that's the 1240. In another one point is PN junction under dark and under illumination. PN junction under dark and under illumination by using solar radiation. Photovoltaic solar cells, system components, load and balance of system. Means this PN junction under dark and under illumination, these characteristics by following diagram or following systems by using the component of solar radiation, photovoltaic solar cell, system components, load and balance of system. These are used. The photovoltaic solar cell are used P-type and N-type material. Means these photovoltaic cell are used that these two types of material are used. First one P-type and N-type material. The system components we are power conditioning and energy storage. Means they have used system components are used which purpose the power conditioning and energy storage. That's why the system components are used. The photovoltaic solar cell connected to power conditioning and the power conditioning connect to energy storage. The energy storage by connect to load as shown in figure. Okay, in next slide figure we have also discussed. The solar light incident on photovoltaic solar cell light generates excess minority carriers. Means this solar light incident on photovoltaic cell. That's why the light generated excess minority carriers. Means the excess outputs are generated or the light absorbing power are generated. That's why in this figure, the solar radiation on incident on photovoltaic solar cells means these photovoltaic solar cells are used two type material, P type and N type, and that's why these photovoltaic cells are connected to power conditioning and the power conditioning is also connected to energy storage in here. That's why in this term also consider as system components. Okay, system components, and the energy storage is also connected to load means the applications means how purpose are use that these are connected, and in this side we have also connected the photovoltaic cell. We have the balance of system means this system or this working of system we have considered the balance of system. The balance of system, these two factors are depends. First one concentrations and second one tracking. Okay, these two factors are connected, that's why this we have balance of the systems. The PN junction under dark and under illumination. Now, the carriers swept across junction by electric field. Electron and holes are separated. Means solar radiation are incident on photovoltaic cell. That's why the excess minority carriers are generated. Okay, these carriers swept across junction by electric field. Electrons and holes are separated. So we can get both current and voltage extraction on when illuminating the PN junction can get power out. We have a solar cell. It converts solar energy directly to electrical energy. Means so the both current and voltage extraction on the illuminating the PN junction on get power out means power is generated. That's why solar cell is converted solar energy directly into electricity. Okay, the light generated current being negative is simply a convention balance of system like concentration and tracking based upon it being to the direction opposite to the flow of bias diode junction. Means in this point we have also cleared that the balance of system. Why are used to balance of system means two components concentrations and tracking. Why use? In this point we have cleared that the light generated current being negative is simply a connection balance of system means like concentration and tracking based upon it being in the direction opposite to the flow of base diode junction. That's why use the balance of system to store the electrical energy in energy storage. These electrical energy, that's the PN junction under dark and under illumination. These the characteristics of photovoltaic solar cells. Now consider with another one point light generated current. The generated current of a current in a solar cell, this is known as light generated current, involve two key processes. Okay, means the generated current in solar cell. Solar cells are generate the currents. That currents is known as light generated currents. These light generated currents are developed or are generated the two key processes. First one, the first process is absorption of incident photons to create electron hole pairs. Means first process, the absorption of incident photons means the incident light. That's why the absorption of incident photons to create electron hole pair. To create electron hole pair. Electron hole pairs will be generated in the solar cell provided that the incident photon has an energy greater than the band gap. Means the electron hole pair will be generated in a solar cell provided that the incident photon has an energy greater than that of the band gap. Means the electron hole pair of the provided or generated that solar cells. That's why the incident photons is energy is greater than the band gap of material or band gap of using these materials. However, electrons in the p-type material and holes in the n-type material are metastable and will only exist on average for a length of time equal to the minority carrier lifetime before the recombine. Means electrons means electrons in a p-type material and holes in a n-type material are metastable and will only exist on average for a length of time equal to the minority carrier lifetime before the recombining. In this figure, we have showing the N-type material or P-type material are used to photovoltaic cell. Okay, these the in this point we have two front contact and this is rear contact or back side contact. Okay, and the load are used for this connected to front contact and rear contact. Okay, the we have considered that the photon or incident radiation or solar radiation. These are incident on this is incident on solar cell or photovoltaic solar cells. That's why the electron and holes pairs are generated and that's why the electrons are moving from the load through the rear contact and also the pair is generated by the rear or rear contact is the electron and hole pair are also generated by the p-type material. That's why the light generated current are created or generate the currents. These diagram or these circuits are fulfilled that in showing the incident on photons. That's why generated electrons and holes and the generated on p-type material or p-type junction. That's why the electrons are passed through the front contact through load and rear contact. That's why p-type junction we also pair that electron and holes. These pairs that's completed that generate the currents. Okay. If the carrier recombines, then the light generated electron hole pair is lost and no current or power can be generated. Means these carriers are also pair that lots or these carriers recombines. Recombine means the electrons are moving from the load through the rear contact and p-type material. That's carriers means electron hole pairs are also recombined, then the light generated electron hole pair is lost and no current or power can be generated. Okay, this is the first process of the light generated current. Okay, that's the another one process is a second process, the collection of these carriers by the PN junction prevent this recombination by using a P and N junction to specially separated to the electron and hole. Okay, that's the carriers are separated by the action of electric field existing at the P and N junction. Means these pairs are separated, that electron and holes pair. The collection of these carriers means the P and N junction carriers. These recombination using the P and N junction are specially separated, that electron and hole pairs. Okay, these pairs are separated. These carriers are specially by action of electric field existing at a P and N junction. If the light generated minority carriers reaches the PN junction, if it swept across the junction by the electric field at the junction where it is now a majority carriers. Okay, means this light generated minority carriers reaches the PN junction. Reaches the PN junction, it is swept across the junction by electric field at the junction. Means this swept across the junction by using the electric field at the junction where it is now a majority carriers. This is the majority carriers. If the emitter and base of the solar cell are connected together, that is, if the solar cell is short circuited, means the open circuit and short circuit. These two types of circuits are in use the solar cells. If the emitter and base of the solar cell are connected together, that is, if the solar cell is short circuit, the light generated carriers flow through the external circuit. Means the light generated carriers flow through the external circuits. That's why to generate the second process is the generated of light generated current. Okay, the generate current of a solar cell by using two processes. Okay, in this discuss we have in this point. That's why another one point is IV equation of solar cells. The IV curve of solar cell is the superposition of the IV curve of the solar cell diode in dark and with the light generated current. Means the IV curve of solar cell are superposition of IV curve of solar cell diode in the dark with the light generated current. The light has the effect of shifting the IV curve down into the fourth coordinate where power can be extracted from the diode. Means the light has the effect of shifting the curve, the IV curve means current and voltage curves down into the fourth coordinate where power can be extracted from the diode. Illuminating a cell adds to the normal dark currents in the diode so that the diode low becomes. This equation is I is equal to I0 in bracket exponential exp in bracket qv upon nkt bracket complete minus 1, another one bracket complete minus IL. I L suffix. Okay, IL. L is capital here, but not a capital, is based on IL. Okay, this term rewrite here. This term rewrite here I and suffix L. IL. This term rewrite here I suffix L in here capital letter. Okay, this equation by the eliminating a cell adds by the normal dark current in a diodes. That's why become this equation. Okay, where IL is light generated current. Okay, this IL is light generated current. The effect of light on the current voltage is the characteristics of a P junction. Okay. The effect of light on the current voltage is the characteristics of a P junction. And the equation for the IV curve is the first coordinate is means the effect of light. That's why the IV curve of fourth coordinate, that's why equation is written as the I0 in bracket exp in bracket qv upon nkt bracket complete minus 1 minus il. That's why written that's the fourth coordinate. That's curve is fourth coordinate and the curve is first coordinate. That's why the il is first or positive value means il is light generated current. Okay, the first coordinate, that's the I is equal to IL means light generated current minus I0 in bracket EXP in bracket QV upon NKT bracket complete minus 1 another one bracket complete. Okay, this equation, the first coordinate IL is positive, then another one quantity is negative and the curve is fourth coordinate. That's why IL is negative and other quantity is positive. Okay, the minus 1 terms in the above equation can use be neglected. Okay, this minus 1 term, these minus 1 terms in this equation we have neglected, then the equation is written as I is equal to IL minus I0 in bracket exponential QV upon NKT bracket complete. Okay, minus 1 term are neglected there. This equation is rearranged by IV equation of solar cell. Now, I discuss with another one point solar cell IV characteristics. Solar cell IV characteristic curves shown in current and voltage characteristics of a particular photovoltaic cell module or array giving a detailed description of its solar energy, conversion ability and efficiency. Solar IV characteristics curves shown the current and voltage characteristics of a particular photovoltaic cell. Okay, means this IV equation or IV curves is different cell are from the different curves. These showing that the current and voltage characteristics of particular photovoltaic cells, module or array giving a detailed description of its solar energy, conversion ability and the efficiency. In this detail, we have showing that the IV characteristics curve. Knowing the IV characteristic solar cell or panel is critical in determining the device's output, performance and solar efficiency. Means these IV characteristic solar cells or panels is critical determining the device's output, performance and the solar efficiency. Means these IV characteristic of solar cells we have find that the critical determining output performance and solar efficiency. The photovoltaic solar cells converts the sun radiant light directly into electricity. With increasing demand for a clean energy source and sun potential as the free energy sources, means the increased demand than the clean energy source and sun potential free energy sources. The free energy sources has made solar energy conversion as a part of a mixture of renewable energy sources increasingly important. Means the free energy sources has made solar energy conversion as a part of a mixture of renewable energy sources increasingly important. The main electrical characteristics of a photovoltaic cell or model are summarized in the relationship between the current and voltage produced on a typical solar cell IV characteristic curve. The intensity of solar radiation that heats the cell control current while the increases in the temperature of the solar cell reduces its voltage. Means the intensity of solar radiation that heats the cell control the current while the increases in temperature of a solar cell reduces its voltage. Means the temperature is increases, that's why they reduce the voltage. The power delivered by a solar cell is produce of current and voltage. Means power are delivered by the solar cell by producing the current and voltage. The maximum voltage available from a cell is at open circuit and the maximum current at a closed circuit. Means the maximum voltage available from these solar cells. That's why the open circuit and the maximum current are closed by. I have also discussed that the two type of circuits, open circuit and closed circuit. The open circuit of solar cells, that's why the maximum voltage, and the closed circuit of solar cells that have a maximum current. Then the IV curve of photovoltaic array is just a scaled up version of a single solar cell IV characteristics curve as shown in figure. This curve is showing that in this figure the current in ampere or voltage in volts, the curves that the single curves and the parallel condition IV curve. In this the IV curve, the parallel MPP and the power W is showing here the constant series MPP and the series curves that showing. Okay, this curve by the series and this the parallel conditions. That's why showing that curves. In this point, the IV curve or IV characteristics of solar cells we have also studied. Okay, in this lecture we have studied the energy of photon, light generated current by a photovoltaic solar cell, and PN junction under dark and under illumination. These the characteristics also studied in photovoltaic solar cell. In this lecture, we have also studied IV equation of photovoltaic cell or solar cell. IV equation of solar cells we have also studied in this lecture, and the last one point we have to study in this lecture solar cell IV characteristics. In previous lecture we have also studied effect of various parameters on a efficiency for solar cells. Thank you.